Hey, Kal Halalyam La Yahawa Basham Yahushai Basham Rachakodash Shalom Wa Bachariam La Ba Shalom Wa Barakiam La Bachariam Shalia Shala Ha'akiam Wa Akwathiam Wa Banyam Shanyakabad Gadwala Rakab Hazakwanyam Wa Ha Shalayak Yamnawa Shalia Shala Ba'ait. Alright, which is all praises to Yahweh, which is the Most High, in the name of His Son, Yahweh Shai, which is His Son, in the name of the Holy Spirit. Peace and blessings to the elect of Israel, and to the men, or the brothers, and the sisters, and the children, or the sons, and double honors to the elders and apostles and elders of Great Millstone and of Israel in these times. This year is Amma 1 from the Great Millstone Camp in Trinidad, and come to do another lesson. As we know, we in the year 2019, the year Charagma, and I looked up the word mark in the blue letter. So if you will see on your screen, occurs in 36 verses in the KJV. Mark also matches the book Mark. Tap to go to the Bible. Right? So now 36 verses, the word Mark come up in, right? So you're seeing it in Genesis 4 and 15. Type it up again. Right. See it in Genesis 4:15, root. Job 16:12. Job 21. Psalms, Lamentations, Ezekiel, Acts chapter 12. Acts chapter 15, Romans 16, Philemon 3 and 14, Philemon 3 and 17, Titus, and Revelation 13 verse 16. Right? Revelation 13 verse 16. So let me click on Revelation 13 verse 16. Go to Revelation 13 verse 16. And it says, and he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, which by now you should know the RFID microchip is the mark of the beast. Right? And the word for mark there is the Greek Strong's 5480, charagma. And the only other place beside Revelation 13 verse 16, prior to that, before that, where the word charagma was in Acts 17:29, where it says, for as much then as we are the offspring of the Most High, we ought not to think that the Godhead is like unto gold or silver or stone or graven, which is mark, something carved out or graven by man's hand, by art and man's device. So Most High is not some way could graven out. And that is the only other place where this word charagma was used in the scriptures prior to Revelation 13 verse 16. Right? So all the other words for mark had a different word. Right? But in Revelation 13 verse 16, the word for mark is what? Strong's G5480, which is, where we find out the meaning of it. A stamp. Right? An imprinted mark. Something imprinted. Which is what? The mark of the beast, the microchip. That is what they're going to stamp you, they're going to brand you with. And let me get some understanding here now. In this very said chapter, it is only speaking about Esau, Edom. From the top to the bottom of the chapter deals with Esau and his power show. He begins, right, and what he will do in the end. And as we are living in Esau's kingdom, there is no denying this devil have microchip to stick in your hand. If you're denying that, then you're wrong. You're on shit. So in Revelation 13 verse 1 says, and I stood upon the sand of the sea and saw a beast rise up out of the sea, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and upon his horns 10 crowns, and upon his heads the names of blasphemy. Right? Which would have been who? Which would have been the old beast from back then, basically. Which will culminate now into who? NATO and the EU. Let's make sure in the scriptures here. Right? Right? Yeah. It would culminate into NATO and the EU. But it was the old Roman Empire and branching off all out into NATO and the EU. Because that is how them does function. Blasphemy. Everything is to disrespect Yahweh Basham Yahweh Shai. Alright? So that going into Esau power structure. Right? Esau power structure. And the beast I saw was like unto a leopard. The leopard going back to who? Remember, this empire is not talking about no other empire but Esau, Edom Empire. This isn't talking about Moab Empire. This is not talking about Ham Empire. This is not talking about Arab Empire. This isn't talking about the Elamites. Alright? The Greeks. The Greeks. The Japhetic people. The true Greeks. This isn't talking about them. This isn't talking about them. This isn't talking about the Israelite Empire either. This is talking about Esau, Edom Empire. Right? This is what it's talking about. So it says, and the beast which I saw was like unto a leopard. The first time that a leopard was mentioned in the scriptures in rulership, you could go back to where? In the book of Daniel, which is Daniel, the 7th chapter, line upon line, precept upon precept, right? And we read Daniel chapter 7 verse 6. After this I beheld, and lo, Daniel 7 verse 1. In the first year of Belshazzar, king of Babylon, Daniel had a dream and visions of his head upon his bed. Then he wrote the dream and told the sum of the matters. Daniel spake and said, I saw in my vision by night, and behold, the four winds of heaven strove upon the great sea. And 4 great beasts came up from the sea, diverse one from another. So he broke down the first one, which was like a lion. The second was like a bear. And then he going on in verse 6, and it says, after this I beheld, and lo, another like a leopard, another beast, which is the third beast, which had upon the back of it 4 wings of a fowl. The beast had also 4 heads, and dominion was given to it. Which is who? Who is that leopard? Alexander the Great. Alright? That is the leopard. And that was the beginning of the Edomite empire coming into what? Into fruition. That was Esau gaining power. Right? Let's know. I'm gonna get the King James with the Apocrypha. Right? So we go in and read in the book of the first Maccabees, the chapter 1, and the verse 1. It says, and it happened, first Maccabees 1:1, after that Alexander the son of Philip the Macedonian came out of the land of Kittim, had smitten Darius, king of the Persians and Medes, which was who? The bear, right? In book of Daniel, right? That he reigned in his stead the first over Greece. The first over Greece. Alright, and I go and find Alexander in leopard. Yes, no. Yeah, chill. I find commentary here. Alright. On the same Daniel chapter 7 verse 6, it says, the leopard, a predator, is among the fastest of carnivores, and with the addition of 4 wings becomes especially swift. But I don't mean the 4 wings didn't mean that he was swift. 4 wings was representing the 4 generals. But going on, it says the illustration describes the astounding pace of Alexander's conquest. From Greece to Egypt to India in 12 years, he subjugated by conquest of voluntary submission the entirety of the Persian Empire and then some. The feat becomes especially astounding when it is known that this period included a 7-month siege of Tyre and 3 years subduing Bactria. Along with his military victories came Greek or Hellenistic culture and language, which later paved the way for the spreading of the gospel. Right. So, hey, Alexander the Great is a leopard, right? I'm going to show you that these devils, they know. I'm sure that they know. I believe, if I'm mistaken, this is a leopard head on Alexander head in this Greek image here. But I'm gonna go on because I want to show you. They're gonna show you Colin Farrell, who played Alexander the Great in the movie Alexander, right? This is Colin Farrell, the actor, right? And watch on the horse. You see on the horse? What it is? What it is on the horse here? A leopard skin. Leopard skin around the horse. This is Colin Farrell playing the movie Alexander, and leopard skin around the horse. So Alexander is the leopard. It have irrefutable proof that he is the leopard of Revelation 13 and of Daniel 7. Alright? Because right after the Greeks came, the Babylon, the Persian and the Medes came, Alexander took down the Persian and the Medes, as we read in the book of First Maccabees chapter 1 verse 1 in the Apocrypha. So when you read in Daniel 7 verse 6, after this I beheld, and lo, another like a leopard, which had upon the back of it 4 wings. The beast had also 4 heads, and dominion was given to it. That was talking about Alexander the Great, which was what? The beginning of the Edomites taking power over the earth. Okay? That was the beginning of the Edomites taking power and control over the planet Earth. So we're going back into the book of Revelation, chapter 13 and verse 2. It says, and the beast which I saw was like unto a leopard, beginning at the Edomites empire, beginning with Alexander, going quite back all the way to he. Right? The scripture says, a leopard shall look over their cities, watch over their cities, talking about that same devil. Okay? And his feet was the feet of a bear, which dealing with the Russians, because Egypt shall be divided against Egypt. Egypt fighting against Egypt. Egyptian against Egyptian, dealing with Esau against Esau. And the feet, just going back into what Daniel, the second chapter, represents the end of something. Right? So that the end of this whole man empire is the Russians, because the Russians go and shoot missiles and completely destroy the United States along with other nations. And his mouth, as the mouth of a lion, which is the Great Britain, and the dragon gave him his power and seat and great authority, which is the Romans, because all of them ruled in the stead of the Roman, the mentality of the Roman Empire. Alright? And I saw one of his heads as it were wounded to death, and his deadly wound was healed, and all the world wondered after the beast, which was Rome. Okay? Rome was basically destroyed almost. Although the philosophies of Rome was there, but then you had Jake ruling as the Romans in the eastern part of Europe, which you would call the Byzantine Empire, which began basically, came into strong power around the 300s BC, but you had Jake sitting down on the throne in West Europe, which is the Roman Empire, but then you had them fully come into power around the 300s, 400s, 500s, 600s. Alright? When Rome was completely gone. That Eastern Rome, nobody wasn't really on that side. The power went on to the Western Rome. The power went on to the East, where Jake was. But going on, right? So we understand that this dealing with the Edomites Empire. Right? From the start of the beast is the leopard, which is Alexander the Great. So now, seeing that we're dealing with Esau, coming all the way down, we'll always be dealing with Esau. Even when it goes into what? If any man have an ear, let him hear. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. That dealing with what Esau did unto us. Because during his empire, Jake caught the most amount of hell. Especially over here on this side. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. He has the patience and the faith of the saints. Because John the Revelator was seeing the saints being carried away. He saw this. And he saw this beast doing the saints, all of that. Okay? Which this beast dealing with the Edomite Empire. This is only dealing with Esau Empire. From the time of the Greeks up till now. And in the end of the Edomite Empire, which is their technological age, where they have all these different technologies and satellites and your smartphone, your tablet, your computers, everything smart, right? This is what I want to do. And he caused it all, both small and great, rich and poor, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, which is that RFID microchip. The only place prior to this where this word mark was mentioned, this specific word, was in Acts 17:16, which was talking about what a graven image, something sculpted. And that is what I want to basically do. Stick something in your hand. Alright? So when you're sculpting something, you're sticking something in it and carving it out. Let me say sculpting out that image, you're sticking something pointing to that image and you're carving out that image to what you want. Then want to stick something pointing in your hand and put you into their image, basically, that you functioning under the image of this man's system, the image of the beast. Which is a needle, that syringe, and stick that microchip in you. And that is the only place this word was used prior to, as we saw, prior to Revelation 13 verse 16. The only place that word was used in was in Acts. which is dealing with something physical. And the physical thing that they're dealing with here in the book of Revelation 13 verse 16 is the RFID microchip. That is the physical thing that they're dealing with here. And that is why it goes on to say in verse 17, and that no man might buy or sell, save, which the word save there means except he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. Because this RFID microchip deals with what? Buying and selling. You could make purchases with it. You could also sell with it. You could do trade with it. This is their new form of currency. This is why the world looking to de-dollarize. This is why a cashless society coming into play day by day by day. This is why they gave you credit cards from first to start to gradually bring you into their new world order plan. And this is all done by whom? The Edomites, the so-called white man. The beginning of their kingdom, as we saw, was the Greeks. And the Bible backs it up, and history. Because that is when the white man started rule. Alright, I ain't going to know substantial amount of history, but it have a lot of history out there. That is why they say the Greek Empire is the beginning of civilization. Because these devils proud more than anything. Right? It says, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. So if you ain't have the mark, with the mark, have all them thing in it. Once you have that mark, you have the beast, you go and willfully take that, you take that microchip, basically you submit to everything this white man said. The name you're carrying his name, and you're carrying his number. You done with him. 100%. Alright? So, going on, it says, here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 636. Chi, Psi, Stigma. Right? Chi, Chi, Stigma. Now, stigma is something that you basically stick in here. And when you go into that word stigma too, goes back to stigmata, I believe. Just let me find it. Let me know. At the internet here, so let me find it. Chi, Chi, Stigma, right? 666, the meaning of which is the basis of much vain speculation. But this is the Edomites' vibration. The vibration of a low vibration. Alright? You know, like how we just say 7 is heavenly. This devil vibration is still carnal. 6 yeah, so as I was saying, the vibration of these devils are very, like how we just be saying, you know, 7 is the 7 represents completion. 666, these devils ain't complete. The base, they're still carnal. Alright? They're still on a low vibration, and that is how these devils just vibrate. That is how they just function. Okay? So, hey, I was going to look up what stigma mean, right? Yeah. I was going to look up stigma. Chi, Chi, Stigma, right? So you see the Chi, the Chi, and the Stigma. I believe there's the stigma here. I know the stigma. Stigma here. No. There's no way. No. $666. No, hold on. Right, this is what I was looking for. So like, it's in the book of Galatians 6 and 17. And it's the same word stigma. Stigma, right? Come from the Greek stigma, right? Marks. That's it. Not marks. Let me read the scripture. Galatians 6:17. From henceforth let no man trouble me, for I bear in my body the marks of the Lord Yahushai. And when I look up the meaning of the word marks there, it's a different word. And it goes into what? Stigma. Stigma. And it means a mark pricked or branded upon the body. Guys, a stigma. So like a stigma is something upon your body. And this is what the devil ultimately want to do. The devil being the so-called white man. The ancient Oriental usage, slaves and soldiers bore the name or the stamp of their master on their or commander branded or prick cut into their bodies to indicate what master or general they belong to. And there were even some devotees who stamped themselves in this way with the token of their gods. So you see, ultimately, this is what the devil, so-called white man, want to do. Because that is what the kingdom say he would do in the end. And the end of the kingdom, in his technological reign, is to put a microchip in you. And that is what you're going to do. You're going to look to stick this RFID microchip in you. So don't take the microchip. Alright? Don't take the microchip. Because if you do such, in the book of Revelation, chapter 14 and verse 9, it says, and the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast and his image, and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of the Most High, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation, and he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. So anybody who follow this man way and take him microchip, you'll be destroyed. And with that, I will give all praise to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai Ba'Shem Rakakwadash. Hopefully you were edified. Shalom.